So this is the City Infrastructure Lab, and over these 2 days project teams will be formed, and those project teams will work together to identify challenges and opportunities in infrastructure.
We've brought a really broad mix of participants together, from planners, policymakers, engineers, service designers, philosophers, a really broad group of people, and some very significant partners as well. The Catapults are here, companies such as Red Ninja, really broad group of partners to think how we can disrupt infrastructure and create the infrastructure we need for the services of tomorrow.
So Red Ninja are a part of this event because we're really interested in how we can use design and technology to improve lives in cities. Using design and thinking to solve urban challenges, we recognise that infrastructure is the foundation of intelligent, responsive cities. When we were asked, we actually jumped at the chance to work with FutureEverything to develop the future cities. And what we're really looking forward to is more cross-conurbation collaboration in order to push forward the Northern Powerhouse agenda.
Today I've kind of been providing a sort of theoretical framework for people to think through. When we talk about infrastructure, we think of maybe roads, bridges, pylons and stuff. We think of the physical thing, but it takes a little more effort to get people to what that means to our lives. And if you look at pretty much every major symptom of climate change or environmental degradation, it's infrastructural. It's caused by us taking things out of the planetary sphere, if you like, and returning things to it.
FutureEverything puts design at the front of everything we do. In an area such as infrastructure, I think traditionally many people have seen that as something perhaps very slow-moving, not very relevant to digital, to the digital innovation space. Actually, it's vital. Everything we do is built on infrastructure, and unless we're thinking about the pipes and the wiring and the infrastructure underneath, we're not going to be able to create those services that we'd want, that we can envision, that can really impact on people's lives.
We're working with Manchester Council on their open infrastructure map, but from more of a development perspective, so looking at how sort of developers, urban planners, etc. can use it. But I think the flip side of that is trying to understand how people sort of outside of that can use it, so how you can engage with communities around that map and get them using that data and taking ownership of that data for themselves.
I think the interesting thing about this event really is that the map is something to kind of coalesce around. It's bringing people together from a variety of different backgrounds who wouldn't normally meet. People from the open data community, people from the planning community, and people from United Utilities, Electricity Northwest, would be able to kind of come together and say, well, actually, what are the challenges? What can we do about those challenges? And what kind of information can we use to solve some of those challenges?
Well, my team identified a problem in the space of green infrastructure and the challenges that many citizens have in engaging in their green infrastructure and engaging in how that can be developed.
We're looking at how old people might be reluctant to use public transport and how we can use open data to improve.
We're starting to look now around about publicly accessible spaces, how they're used, any restrictions on times when the parks close and things like that.
This has been a great event in terms of bringing people with different skill sets and experience together to really look at something that's quite static and technical in the way that infrastructure is, and to put a human spin on it and put people's needs at the centre of it.
The good thing about these conferences is while you're in here, you've got the sky is the limit, whereas when you're back in the office you lose sight of the bigger picture.